Let's go!
Luigi, number one.
How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great Friday. It's Red Friday here in the Kingdom, so supporting my Kansas City Chiefs here today. Even though it doesn't really matter what day it is, I'm always going to support my Chiefs. But besides that, it looks like Bitcoin it tried to shed some gains here about the last couple minutes, but we're kind of gaining some of that lost ground back. I do have a new album we're playing. It's not my album, but it's kind of getting a little bit tired of the techno music, so I was like, let's just listen to some lo-fi beats or whatever it's called. So we're going to a little bit different sound. If I could get a sound check to make sure it's not too loud, it would be greatly appreciated. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here. Alright, just doing a sound check on my end. We look good. Alright, so this is actually a really nice sign, and this is how you know you have solid support lines or boxes. So as you guys should know, I try to be pretty clear about it. When I make these boxes, unless you see a solid line like this, I put emphasis on the top and the bottom of these boxes. And you can see here with the dip we actually just had, we had a nice, honestly, it almost looks like a double bottom that we just had. I mean, we'll see if this holds up, but two very nice touch points right off the top of our box. Yeah, Gabe, that'd be awesome. We have a big game this week versus the Ravens. I think it's going to be, honestly, I think it's going to be one of the hardest matchups this year. I think we played Green Bay this year too. So, we're looking at Bitcoin here. We had a very nice touch point. Two of them actually right off the top of our support box, which is at about 10,050. So, that just brings more confidence into the boxes that I draw. The more touch points you have, the more you can pretty much bet is going to be an area of significance. We are coming up to the back launch for Bitcoin. The official launch date is September 23rd. So what I really want to see here, at least from a Bitcoin standpoint, I'm curious to see if we get any weekend action, because it is a launch on Monday, so I'm wondering if we get some volatility before the actual work week starts and the launch is official. I don't know how they're going to roll out the launch. I don't really know how it's going to be played, because it is physical Bitcoin being traded. So there's going to be a lot of things. Next week, just be prepared. We're going to have a lot of, I think we're going to have a little bit more than normal streaming next week, just because it's going to be an exciting week. Bakkt is, the futures launch was huge in December 17 or 2017, but it also marked the first day of the bear market, really. So, being that this is actually physical settled Bitcoin, the Bakkt launch, and futures is not, they're cash settled. So in a way, they don't really have an effect on the price of Bitcoin, even though there is a correlation. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen. So, as we start out every stream the same, I have to say I'm really liking the new Market Cipher update that CryptoFace did, adding the red and green dots. Really liking it so far, and the reason is how we've been talking about on stream, how let's see if we can find a good one, like right here for instance. This is a great example. So you have your high in momentum, and you come back and you make a lower high. Well, a lot of times it does this fake out to where you start rounding it off, and then it's like, okay, not so much, and then you form another high. So people that were expecting this wave to be rounded off here, the drop, I'm sorry, not the drop, but the momentum basically picked back up, and now you're hoping to break even again. Well, now with these red dots on Market Cipher B, we can actually say, like, hey, you see the red dot, you're pretty much going to round off if you see it. Now granted, I've noticed it's not accurate 100% of the time. The reason being is you can see how we shot a green dot off here, like we were maybe going to be building back. and then you see we had an immediate red. So I'm still learning about this. We had a community member bring this up last night, so it's something we're gonna learn together. But I really like the addition. I really do. So let's start out with our daily like we always do. We're still building here, so I don't want to call this off. I don't want to say that we're going to have a lower level of bearish momentum, but you're very thick in the red here. And if we were to show something like this to where we could take our trend line and you would show a lower level of selling pressure or bearish momentum, I'm going to start being a little bit more so when I say, you know, like bullish momentum or bearish momentum, I've noticed we have a lot of new people trading. So if you see me saying like a lot of basic things like selling pressure, that's just the reason being, because I've had a lot of questions. You know, some of the terminology that's really easy for us that we know what it is, a lot of people don't. So you can see here, you're showing a lower level of bearish momentum. I say lower level for now. This is not done building. This could easily just keep building and we'll get as high. If not, you know, we'll either maybe make the same high as this wave or maybe slightly bigger. We'll see. But for now, you're still building. So maybe from a bullish perspective, we can maybe see a lower wave of selling pressure here. Because you know, in my mind, you would have a very nice, you could have a very nice push to the upside, because you are in the red here, so you can generally have very violent moves back to the upside. Let's keep going down our list, or I say our list, our time frames. So not much to see here. I mean, the only thing you can see is we did pop a buy dot, but this was yesterday if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, this was on our dip that we had yesterday before we really started pushing to the upside. So this buy dot most likely already played out. You know, we definitely could keep climbing up, but in my mind, we had, what was that yesterday? Roughly, I mean, we hit a bottom of like 9,600, 9,650. In the morning, we were at like 9,900, and we hit a high of 10.4. So we had roughly about a $400 or $500 swing to the upside yesterday. So basically everything over the hour, what is pointing to is the bears are starting to build some momentum here. And you can see how far, from like a money flow perspective, we've been red since the 15th of September. So I guess that's about 5 days. You can just see how red we are here. So we're going to watch this closely with something I've been looking at on the closer time frames. What was it, the 15 minute? Alright, so it must have already been invalidated. I posted a picture on our Discord probably about 40 minutes ago. This wave actually, like right here, we were sitting somewhere like this. I was like, I wonder if we're going to have a little bit of buying pressure. But you can see though, it definitely has built, and we're getting to about the same height as our wave. Directly to the left of us. Alright, so right now what we're seeing on these waves is we're building a new wave of bearish momentum, and it's too early to say we're rounding it off. It's too early. How you doing, Gabe? Mike? Armacida? Martin? What? New guy in? What do you want to see different, Martin? But I really like this touch point though, right off of our box. This is very nice. How you doing, Bubble Boy? You can see all of the touch points here off the top of our box. So we're going to watch this closely. So a new indicator I've been kind of looking at. Let's see how it's looking. This is the Market Liberator. I've been doing a lot of back testing on this indicator. And it seems to be pretty accurate. Hey, Big Sky Crypto. I'm sorry if I say that wrong. Oh, Omar Warl 2020. Thank you for joining the stream, the community. How you doing, Big Sky? MRK Lassen. Hopefully I said that right. Hope you guys are having a good day. Like I said, I really just started checking this out. I've noticed the 1 hour is really accurate. I really like looking at the 1 hour on the Market Liberator A. The 3 hours seems to be pretty decent as well. So I've really been hovering between the 1 hour, and then if we're trying to look for like a swinging perspective, the 15-minute has been really hot here as well. I mean, you can see the back test off this. So from here you had about $100 swing, and then you can see from here you had roughly from 10,150, you went all the way down to about 9,600 to flip long. And I have watched this. This is not a lagging indicator, but I joined their community last night just because it's a very interesting indicator, and I've actually done a lot of comparisons to the AgroCap indicator. And they're very close, and honestly this one's actually been a tad more accurate. And the reason I say that is because the confirmation, so what I mean by confirmation is the line that points your short signal to your confirmation line, they're much closer. I noticed with a lot of like the AgroCap calls, sometimes there would be a huge spread between the actual call and the confirmation line. And so I had a community member recommend this to me to take a look at, and I'm glad I did. It's free. It's free on I guess it'd be TradingView. Yeah, Martin, AgroCap is built upon a super trend pine code. So you're over the top of my head already. I'm just the streamer aspect of this. I don't know really anything about coding. I tried getting into it. I mean, I understand like HTML and stuff a little bit, but when it comes to like pine coding, that's not really my expertise. I'm just the trader. But your question though, if you're in a ETH USD long from 218, where do you see it going? I'm just curious, was that your suggestion or was it a request? So right now with Bitcoin, I think we're really just going to be ping-ponging between about 10,050 and about 10,250. That's really going to be, so this support box, you know what, you can actually see where we came back and back tested it. So this is what I talk about. When you break support to the downside, especially the longer you're under it, the better chance you can see. Do you see all of our touch points here across the top? We've now officially flipped 10,200 is resistance. So I'm going to go, I think I moved the box. We're actually going to take this box and we're going to turn it red now. This box is no longer support. So you have support at 10,050. It looks like we're trying, this can actually be put as support as well. It looks like we're trying to hold this 10,120 as support. We keep briefly breaking it, but then we immediately pop back above it. So for now, you can see all the touch points here across. If I was to let this run, it would also encompass this price action over here as well. So 10,120 is our more short-term support. You have major support here at about 10,050. And then your first area of resistance is really going to be that 10,180, 10.2 to 1050, or to 10,250, the top of our box. If you're in a losing trade, what to do and how to look at your charts. Well, the thing is, if you're losing on a trade and you look on the charts and you see there's a lot of momentum building against your trade, I know a lot of people don't like taking a loss, but sometimes the best thing to do is to cut a trade loose. That's what I did yesterday. I had an average short at about 9,850. Once we got to about 9,920, I cut it loose. There's no point of holding a losing trade and just accumulating gains. Or I'm sorry, to be accumulating a ton of losses. Once you've realized your trade is, especially yesterday when we were at 9,900, I looked at all the time frames from the 1 hour to the 4 hour. There was a green buy dot. We were showing lower levels of selling pressure on the 15 and the 30 minute, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to cut this. I'm going to take a small loss. I immediately flipped long at 9,920, and I sold it at about 9,000. I'm sorry, and I sold at 10,305, and I made about 5x my losses from yesterday. It was a small loss, but sometimes the best thing to do is, when you have a bad trade, to cut it loose, dust yourself off, and prepare for the next trade. But the big thing is if you do have a losing trade, don't heighten your leverage to try to make up even more of your losses, because then you can just make your losses on your next trade that much more substantial. Don't dramatically increase your leverage to recoup your losses from your first trade. But no, don't hold it if you're in a really bad losing trade. And that's why I also unless I'm really for sure about the trade itself, especially from a scalp trading perspective, I do pretty I'll do tight stop losses, because there's always another trade. And yesterday, if I would have held on to my short at 9,900, yeah, I mean, I guess I would have broke even today or gotten pretty close. But yesterday was a prime example. We cut our short at 9,900, we flipped long at 9,920, and we sold above 10.3, and now you're well back in the green again. So we'll take a look at Ethereum. So for right now, Ethereum, you have pretty decent support here at about $215. Your first area of resistance is going to be at 225, with your next area of resistance being at 235. Now just know, guys, we've been talking about this for a while, but it's contingent. It is solely contingent on 235 breaking and closing a 4 hour above it. Don't just see 236 and long. That's what these guys did over here, and it didn't end so well for them. So wait to see about a 4 hour close above 235, and we're going to have a price target of roughly, this is our trade setup, from about 250. So honestly, my target is, the worst this trade will do is about 250, but I'm really eyeing the 260 to 265 mark once we can officially close a 4 hour above 235. But for now, you can see our touch point basically right off the top here at about 225. Your next one at 235, with your first area of support is at 215, and then you have your major support box here from 200 to 205. I mean, if you're down 10%, I mean, hopefully it's just your position as a whole and not your actual entire account value. But sometimes the best thing to do is to cut a losing trade. Dust yourself off. Go back through your. I mean, that's why I said sometimes the best trade is a losing one. Because if you just get upset about a losing trade and you get frustrated with it, usually you're going to make a. Because, like I said, the psychological aspect of trading is honestly more important than the technical side. And I've noticed there's this trend where a lot of people will lose money on a trade. They get angry, so then they force another position. They heighten their leverage because they not only want to win on that trade, but they want to make up their losses on the next trade. And then that trade goes south and you're down 3 times as worse, So, so if you have a losing trade, go back through your mindset. What did the charts look like? Go back through all the time frames. How is your brain thinking? Did the FOMO kick in? Go through your entire, Go through the entire process of what you were thinking when you submitted that trade and find where you went wrong. And then so next time, so you can prepare for the next trade. You're going to be more prepared. Losing trades are not necessarily a bad thing. Just don't beat yourself up on it. Learn what you did wrong, look at the technical and the psychological aspect, and prepare for the next trade. But please do not make your leverage even higher on your second trade after you just lost money on one, because I've seen people just completely wreck their account doing that. But no, honestly for me, what I would do is if you're holding Ethereum, if you went long at 218, you're already at 216. I would definitely wait for 215. You have decent support here at 215. If you see 215 break, I would definitely cut it and lose. And just cut it loose. Because if you break 215, you're most likely, I guess you could maybe have a bounce here at about 210. But I would really be eyeing, once again, the 200 and the 205 mark. But it's really contingent on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin starts going back up to 10.2, 10.3, then yeah, you'll probably break even. But if we're going to look at market cipher here, yeah, this ain't a good sign. You can see here on the 4 hour, you're showing a lower level of buying pressure, bullish momentum, whatever you want to call it. And not only this, but you can see how you have a red dot basically rounding off this wave. And you could have quite a bit of momentum to sell on the downside because you can just see how thick your buying pressure is. So you can pretty much imagine a lot of this is leveraged positions. So let's keep going down. Let's see what the daily looks like. After this, we'll take a look at XRP. XRP had a nice run up. We were looking at it on the daily. I was just like, man, this thing could explode. And that's exactly what happened. I've never actually seen the type of setup that we saw on XRP when it was under 28 cents. Alright, so yeah, you can see here even on the closer time frames, it looks like, the bears, we're just kind of really in this neutral trading pattern right now, especially with Ethereum. You've already had your nice run up, and I think all eyes are kind of on Bitcoin right now. Ethereum knows that if Ethereum traders know that if they start longing this and Bitcoin tanks, chances are Ethereum's going to tank just as hard. Because as we saw not yesterday, but the day before, Ethereum, what was it? It was actually right up here. We came and we failed at about 215, and we came right back down and touched almost about $200. So you had almost about a 10% drop here. It's probably about 7 to 8%. Let's use our price. Let's use our price range tool. So Ethereum fell about 7%. All right. But you have nice support. I don't want to get too bearish on Ethereum until you break $200. Because honestly, there should be quite a bit of support here at around 200, 205. Yeah. Why don't you see the red dots? Alright, so F. Sani, I guess he just did this change last night. So click out of your market cipher, like exit out of it and reopen it. If you don't see them, basically just log out of your trading view and log back in. But definitely, it's all I had to do last night. Just go to your market cipher, exit out of it, like just close it, and then go back to your wherever you keep your script, whether it's in your favorites or your invite only, and open it back up, and you'll see it. We had a community member let me know about it last night. I had no idea they made the changes. So just a quick summary though. You have short-term support at 215. Your first area of resistance is 225. You're going to have a little bit of support here at about $210. See if I can get our line drawn here. I don't want to put too many lines and make it confusing. So here's your 210 line. You can see all the touch points basically bouncing off of it. And then you came back and it acted as resistance here before you blew through it. So 225, you have short-term support. So don't put too much into these, but you have short-term support at 215, 210, and then you have your major support box from 200 to 205. Let's take a look at XRP. Alright, here's the trading pattern we were looking at. This was XRP before we really took off. And I mean, I had a video, I was like, man, I really would want to see 28 cents break for confirmation. You know, personally, I was going to wait for about 30 cents, but the only reason I said that was because you showed another, I mean, this actually looked really nice as well. And you can see, we literally popped nothing on the bullish side. But when you see a pattern like this, and this is why I really try to emphasize it, when you're showing really strong, like a pattern like this, where you have multiple levels of, basically you're having lower highs and bearish momentum, and your money flow, you are this thick in the red, you can have violent moves to the upside, and that is exactly what happened. You had 1, 2, 3. So you had 3 trigger waves, and you had 4 waves, I guess technically 3 waves of lower levels of bearish momentum. You had your money flow that was thick in the red, and you can see here, I mean, XRP had a violent move up. If you basically follow this line straight down, you can see where we rounded off our last wave, and we just absolutely went parabolic at about 25.5 cents. You actually hit a high of, honestly, it's the top of our resistance box, which is about 32.5 cents. So for now on XRP, oh wow, XRP is under 29 cents now. So the area that I'm really going to be watching, actually I need to move this to the 1 hour. See what we look like if we move this here. Alright, I like that, because you almost have a touch point here, and then you have 2 solid touch points. I wonder if there's anything over here. Okay, so you do have a line of support right above our major support line at 20 cents. Looks like Bitcoin's trying to sell off here. So I would really be looking at about 28.2 for support, and then you have your major 28 cent line. But it looks like here, if we zoom in, we have now flipped 30 cents as resistance now, so that's not really a good thing. So you have about 28 cents, and literally just above it about 28.2 as support. Your first area of resistance is going to be 30 cents, and this has literally been the line that has just really, XRP just hasn't been able to break it. I feel like we've been talking about this for a while now, but it's 32.5 cents. 32.5 cents has just been insanely hard for XRP to break. You're down over about 4% right now. So if Bitcoin decides it doesn't want to fall off the face of the earth, maybe it'll be worth adding here at about 28 cents. But me personally, If there's a lot of uncertainty with Bitcoin, which honestly, even from if you take the price range out of it with backed, I might be holding off trading other assets for the next 3 days. I'm just going to focus my attention. I might miss out on other gains, but as we all know, if Bitcoin wants to fall off the face of the earth, these coins will fall, if not harder than what Bitcoin actually will. And honestly, Ethereum and XRP have more to lose because they've had such a nice move to the upside. There's a lot more room for price action to the downside when those people that longed, they decide to sell. How you doing, Sir Johnson? So let's take a look at, so there's XRP. You have 28 cents, just above it at like 28.2, 28.3. You're going to have your first line of resistance at 30 cents. And it honestly looks like right here as well. We must have drawn this line last night. You will have some short-term resistance at 31. But guys, the really major resistance is 32.5. So we're going to be watching Bitcoin on the closer time frames. Let's see how we look from our indicator standpoint. The 15-minute, with the market liberator, the 15-minute has just been extremely hot here. Let's get rid of this up here. Actually, let's take a look at, let's get rid of this real quick. Let's take a look at our EMAs. I just want to see if there's any kind of negative crosses we can see here. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Alright, so we're basically just being held up by our 13 right now, but it looks like we're just now under it. Let's take a look at the daily. There, let's pull this down. Current Bitcoin price is 10,104. Alright, so we're not really seeing anything from like an EMA standpoint. Alright, but it does look like we're about to have a negative cross here of our 13 and our 100 riding through here. So that's something we are going to keep an eye on. And you can see our wick, we barely just touched it. And now we're moving back to the downside. Yeah, I think this is the chart I shared on the Discord today. The thing we're really going to be facing today is, do you see how you had a much lower level of selling pressure here and we popped to the upside? Do you see how negative this is? Like, it's not negative, but do you see how small it is? You can barely even see it. My fear is even if I wait, and if you were to take this from a bullish standpoint, let's say you even pop your green dot and we round this off, like right through here, you could just easily just come back over here and make another lower level, and then we'll come back over here. This is what Bitcoin was doing the last couple days. We were basically just showing lower highs on the bearish and bullish side, and then eventually the bottom just fell. Alright, we're under 10,100 on Bybit. Okay, we just popped right above it. So, really what I want to see here from a bearish standpoint, if we're going to try to short this, you know, just being straight with you guys, on this major dip up here, it didn't even give you an opportunity. Basically what happened is we were at like 10,100, and I was like, alright, I'm going to go take the dogs out. I'll come back in, and we'll see what the price is at. We didn't just fall through 10,050. I mean, we literally bearishly engulfed right through it. And I came back. I was only gone outside for about 5 minutes. And we were at like 9,840. So, this is really what is keeping me from shorting right now. Because we're already at 10,100. It's not really worth opening up a short when you're, from a profitability standpoint, your target's only $50 away. Even if your trade works out absolutely perfectly, that's only $50 worth of gain. Now granted, I mean, you will be a winner if we break something, like break through it, like we did over here, but these touch points are literally perfect right off of 10,050. So let's actually look at a clean canvas. Let's get off of, I really want to look at the Liberator A here. I'm trying to find one that I haven't looked at. Let's try Bitfinex. I just want something that doesn't have all these lines all over it. Alright. Alright, and you can actually look at it. It's quite similar to like how Market Cypher's built. You can tell it was definitely inspired by Market Cypher, because it has a lot of even the same terminology, like the blue triangle, the red cross, the blood diamond. Yeah, right there. It even has a whale. But no, I had a community member recommend this to me, and it seems to be pretty accurate. I like the results that I've seen for it so far. I received it last night, but my melatonin was kicking in by the time I got it, so I was like, we'll check it out in the morning. Now, they have the Liberator A. It won't have like all these other stuff on it, but you can check this out for yourselves, guys. It's literally called the Market Liberator A. It's on TradingView. So just go to your indicators. You can just type in Market Liberator. And you have your A. And then you have your... Is there a B? Yeah, right. Yep. Oh, here's the B. It's up here. So you have your A, and then you have your B. But I highly recommend checking it out. It's a nice little indicator. So here on the 1 hour, if we can hold under 10,130, we will flip this to a short. And you can see the calls from the 1 hour have been really hot. So on the market, or I'm sorry, on the Market Liberator, I've really just been looking at about the 1 hour and the 15 minute. The 15 minute seems to be pretty solid as well. Let's take a look. Let's see what the 3 hour looks like. I haven't had a ton of time to backtest this, but and this right here doesn't look like much, but it's literally about a 250 jump from here to here. $10,218 to 9,000. Nice. So you got a really nice entry if you had this the other day. You actually entered your short at like 10,230. Very nice. And then here on the bottom, you actually went long. That's awesome because I didn't even see this yesterday, but you actually threw your long at 9,940. So just on this one alone. And once again, guys, you can check this out. It's literally free on TradingView. What's the difference between A and B? B is just similar to like Market Cypher, like the B version. It shows the waves like this does. You can definitely tell this was inspired by Market Cypher. Whoever made this. But no, so A is going to be your visual on the chart, just like this. And then your B it'll have like the same blue looking wave like this does. It's not market cipher, I'm just getting the representation of it, like how the blue looks. It's kind of like the same look. Yeah, so this would be similar to like how AgroCap was ran. You literally, so if you pop your short like here, your confirmation line would be once you close under the green line here. So like here's a good one. So like here, you popped your short. Like, so technically this would be ran like AgroCap. You would just basically DCA from here to your actual short line. Worst case, you cover here if you bounce off, but you threw your short at like 10.8. You confirmed at like 10,450, 10,005, and then we hit a bottom of 9,830 here. Or like here, you flipped long at 9,600. You would be confirmed once you go over this red line. And I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen this live, but I'm pretty sure when you do flip this and you do actually, because I'm guessing since this is the 3 hour, you would have to wait to close a 3 hour over this red line. It would kind of shoot out this line, the green line, similar to like what we saw here. So Crypto Expert, I'm kind of just trying to figure out the way I want to go about it. Because to be honest, like, you know, I love options trading in stocks, but I've noticed with crypto YouTubers, like the watchers, they could literally give two hoots about trading stocks and crypto. So I'm trying to find a healthy medium. Because I've noticed, like, the moment I start talking about stocks, literally about a quarter to a third of all the watchers basically just drop off. So I'm trying to find a healthy medium of how I want to go about it. I know my Kings Knights have asked about it quite a bit. But you know, I'm just trying to broaden people's horizons, because you can make really nice money trading options in the stock market, and it's never good to have your eggs in one basket just in cryptocurrency, and trading in alts doesn't count. Like, so, you know, we're going to start some education. I'm just trying to find a healthy way to go about it for the stream. Because I've noticed a lot of crypto YouTube, they could absolutely care less about trading stocks. But no, I've had great success with it. I had about 30% gains yesterday. Just from trading Tesla and Microsoft together combined, I made about 30%. You know, and I have been trading options since 2014. But because honestly, with technical analysis, it works a lot better with stocks than it does with cryptocurrency. What's up, Tom Brady? Told me the red and blue diamonds are very important. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I'm still learning it. Like I said, I received this last night, so you know, we're kind of looking at this together. By the time, you know, I got it, my melatonin was already like 30-40 minutes in. I was like, ugh, I can't keep my eyes open. The 3 hour, though, man, it looks extremely bearish from a market cipher B standpoint. And you can see how you actually threw your red dot here. So you have rounded this off. And here on your 3 hour, you're actually starting to show some red here as well. So if I had to lean a direction, I'm more leaning like neutral to bearish. I'm not really bullish on this right now, on Bitcoin. Yeah, and you can even see it here on the 1 hour. and now we're basically just building our next wave right here. So I'm kind of debating. I don't know if I want to start averaging into a short now, like going really small, and I'll average up to, 10,250. I'm expecting there's going to be a lot of volatility this weekend. I really honestly don't like trading on weekends, but I have a feeling we're not going to be let off easy this weekend. We have our, back launches on Monday. I'm not sure what time it goes live, but I think there's going to be quite a bit of activity this weekend. Blood Diamond shows it on the 1 hour. Yep, right here. And you're showing your yellow X. I'm guessing this is similar to Market Cipher, your manipulation X. Yeah, yellow X. It doesn't say manipulation. I know that's what Market Cipher is. So to flip this short, we're going to have to close under 10,130. How long do we have? Ooh, all right. Maybe we get some action here, guys. This is going to close in about 7 minutes. 7.5 minutes. So I want to see how this reacts. Once we officially close under 10,100 and... Whoa, is that really our actual price right now? Are we not even under? So we're at 10,143. Let's reload this real quick. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm on Bitfinex. That's why the price difference is so high. So if we close on Bitfinex under 10,134, let's see if we watch this flip live. I kind of want to see us close under this. I want to see how it wicks out. Like, is it going to be like how AgroCap was, where you basically flashed your arrow, and then you'll flick your, how it would basically flick something off like this. Like, so you'll flip and then you'll throw something like this. How long does the 4 hour have on it? Okay, we still have about 2 hours here on the 4 hour. But this is basically what I would be watching for. You see your arrow and it would flick. So it would be something similar but on the top. You're on the Bybit chart. Let's see if I flip charts. I like to look at the ones with the most volume. I know I'm not a fan of BitMEX, but they have a ton of volume. Alright, so on BitMEX we've actually thrown it. It's crazy though how accurate this 1 hour is. Alright, so we have, where's this line at? 10,100. I don't know if we're going to close under at this hour. There's about 5 minutes left. So they have 5 minutes to close this under like 10,120. And the current price is 10,124. So let's see if we can see this in action, how it looks like when it flicks, if it does at all. And I've noticed though on this market, the Market Liberator, it's also very good on stocks as well. We can look at some stocks here in a little bit. Let me check see if there's any. I haven't even really checked them today. Alright, just checking the stock market now, guys. We have about 3.5 minutes left, so let's see how this... See if we can see this flick off. I'm guessing if we close under this, this is when we'll throw the short. How you doing, Berlin-y? Yoga Flame TV. Is he sleeping? No, I don't think so. Mike Wright, is there a stock that I trade? Generally, I've came from the SPY market. It's a ETF, but if I'm not trading SPY, I'll trade. Like yesterday, I traded Tesla and Microsoft. Oh wow! So the stock market SPY actually broke 300. So I'm actually kind of bearish on SPY right now. I was kind of waiting to see once we broke 300. The stock market's only down about 0.5% today, so it's really not that bad. But let's see if we get this close here. With this music, though, I could definitely go to sleep. It's nice, like, and calm. It's like this. I had someone recommend it. I'm just kind of sick of the techno music, to be honest. I had nothing against it, but it's just listening to it all day long. It just got kind of old. So I was like, someone recommended it's this, like, lo-fi hip-hop, like, just soft music in the background. I have to say, I like it quite a bit. Alright. We're just kind of sitting here hovering. They have about 1.5 minutes. Let's see if we do it. I don't know if we are. So I guess it's officially like 10,116, 10,120. Yeah, chill wave. Yeah, I think that's what I'm listening to. No wonder this guy's name is Dreamy. I swear I could definitely go to sleep listening to something like this. It's just nice and chill. Alright. Let's watch this live. Alright, we did it. You just saw it. 46. 45 seconds. Name of the tones you playing now? This is the lo-fi hip-hop radio. It's called Dreamy, the dude that makes this. Alright, I actually have it saved to our streaming playlist now, so... But no, I like this a lot. This music's nice and chill. Alright, so it seems like we're not gonna... It's 1 second. Alright, so I think we did it. We flicked it. Now we've started the new 1 hour. And the 2 hour, yeah, I'm guessing the 2 hour has, no, it just reset as well. There seems to be this like equilibrium with this between like 9,970 and 10,000. They're kind of thinking is the bottom here. Like I said, we're just checking this out together, guys. It's just interesting, and like I said, it's completely free on TradingView. It's just called Market Liberator. ICX. We can check it out. I don't trade altcoins, but I'm not even sure what this would trade on. I'm not gonna look at it from the Korean won. I think it's on Kraken. Or not Kraken. Wow, ICX. Oh wow, so it seems to be like a fairly new asset. I swore I thought ICX was on Kraken way before this. Is it on Bittrex, ICX? Do you know an exchange this is on? Like I said, I don't trade altcoins. Binance? Damn. This thing called it really nicely up here. Let's get this off real quick. So it looks like you're trying to find some new resistance here at about 2,050 Satoshis. But once again, if we are bearish on Bitcoin, I wouldn't be trying to long altcoins. But if we go through all the higher time frames, you can see here, it looks like we're maybe trying to form a lower high in bearish momentum. Even looks like here on your 1 hour you have a mild trigger wave. See what it looked like on the daily. Daily actually looks pretty nice. So you have, it's not a picture perfect trigger wave, and then you have another one here. I'd be curious to see how high we're going to build on this. But you have two lower waves, or you have your lower wave of momentum, of bearish momentum, so your selling pressure is falling off. Your 1 hour looks good. So from a short-term perspective, ICX actually doesn't seem too bad. But it's honestly, once again, it's really contingent on Bitcoin. But no, you actually doesn't look too bad. You can see here on your closer time frames, you've actually gotten out of the red. Do you see here, like on the 1 hour, how you're starting to look red? If you go here to your 4 hour, okay, you don't see it here on the 4 hours much. The daily's still really red though. You've been really red since about May. I'm not sure what this coin is even called, ICX. I swore it was on Kraken like a while back. Maybe they delisted it and brought it back. It's hard to tell. I haven't used Kraken in a long time. I don't actually recommend anyone to use it, but you were told to buy it. So you're looking at actual, like, the Tether. You can look at it from a Tether standpoint. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically looking for consistent touch points. You definitely have found resistance here at about 22 cents. You can see that clearly right in through here. But I have to say though, from a market cipher standpoint though, like I said, I don't know anything about this currency or this crypto. But it actually looks pretty good here on market cipher. Yeah, on the 1 hour, you are starting to build some selling pressure here. This could also have to do with a lot of, because Bitcoin's selling off today. So, this is just my personal strategy, guys. Obviously, you don't have to use it. But I'm probably not going to be trading altcoins the next 3 days. Because if Bitcoin starts going through the roof, chances are these altcoins will start getting devalued again. And on the flip side, if Bitcoin starts dumping, these altcoins will dump with it. But yeah, see, on Tether, you don't actually look as great as you do on the Bitcoin pairing. Your 4 hour looks good though, and your daily looks even better. So if Bitcoin doesn't fall off, ICX could have a nice run up coming. I really like how this looks here. And you're this thick in the red, so you can have a nice pop to the upside. So $22 cents is going to be your next resistance. If you're trying to find support, this is just going to be short-term support. I'll show you how I come up with this. This needs to be green. You can see your touch points here across the bottom. Take out these crazy wicks. But do you see these touch points right here in the middle and then over here? So you do have some support here at about 19 cents. And you are starting to have some resistance here. You have it for sure at 22 cents, but it looks like you're even trying to move that down a little bit, maybe near the 21 cent area. But I think a lot of this, I don't want to say bearishness, but you have to realize Bitcoin, there's a lot of uncertainty. So altcoins are probably going to struggle a little bit. Unless Ethereum starts going through the roof again and Bitcoin recovers back to 10.3, 10.4, maybe these altcoins can run a little bit. But I wonder what this looks like from the daily standpoint. Oh, damn. So it's still fairly new. It was added in July. How you doing, DR Brahms? I hope I said that right. Wonder how Tron's looking. If altcoin season's really gonna run, this is gonna be the one I'm probably gonna be watching the most. I posted my list of altcoins. Just to be completely transparent, I do not trade altcoins, not really. The only altcoin that I'm actively trading, I say actively, that I'll buy every once in a while is Tron, because there is TronBet, where they have a sports betting DApp, which is a decentralized application. It's pretty much like having the internet and people building applications on top of your network. That's basically what Tron is used for. It's like it's pretty much the same thing as Ethereum, but Tron's much faster. But I am trading because, like I said, I'm a huge sports fan, so I have been trading or buying Tron every now and then, so I can put it on TronBet, and basically participate in sports betting for Sundays or on Sundays. Because I'm telling you, if there's an altcoin that's just absolutely going to go through the roof, it will be Tron. I mean, look at this from the daily. You've been severely red since, honestly, March. Insane bearishness. And if you look here, let's get this normal looking. And look at here. Last time you were this bad in the red, look at the rise you had. My strategy, if altcoin season starts, you've been up about 200% last time you were in the red. But my strategy with if altcoin season is going to start is I'm going to be trading coins that basically qualify under two areas. One, I want to see coins that have a strong team of developers that never gave up during the bear market. If you basically had communities that were dead silent during Sorry, someone's calling me. But if you see a community that was dead silent during the bear market, I want nothing to do with them. They only come around when the bull market or their coin's doing well. And the second thing I'm going to be looking for is communities. Like, who has a loyal community? You know, what coins had the community that stuck around, and, you know, went through probably one of the worst bear markets altcoins have ever been through. So, and Tron, love it or hate it, it does have utility. They have I mean, I don't agree with a lot of their dApps, but TronBet is probably the best dApp to ever come out. They have a loyal community, and their coin's actually listed on Binance, the Wink token. Afsani, you're 10 minutes behind. What are you talking about? I am on Binance right now. Oh, you're 10 minutes behind. I got you. I was like, I am on Binance. So, but right now on Tron, you're struggling basically at your short-term resistance here at about 170. Your next area of resistance is 180. Now, if we can break 180 Satoshis, I am going to be eyeing the $200. If we go here to the 4-hour, we can probably see it a little better. If you can break 180 Satoshis, the next area, you're going to have a little bit of issues here because you have some touch points here across the top, which is from 195 to 200. So you will have a little bit of, you know, some issues here. But if you take this out of the equation, if we can break through that 195, 200 mark, I will be eyeing the 220 Satoshi. That's really my price target if we can break 180. But overall, my real target on Tron, if they can get a lot of momentum, will be 270 Satoshis. This is really, if you go out here on the daily, you can see just how major it really is. This line went all the way from the 13th of August in 2018. You can see all the touch points here. And something to keep in mind, granted, you can take this with a grain of salt, but when Tron actually launched to the height of its run up, we went up roughly about 21,000%. Yeah, Tron, that's actually two of those are actually on my alt list, which is BNB and Tron. Because you have to realize, guys, if alt season does start, there's going to be that FOMO with people wanting to get ICO type gains again. And Binance is about the closest and the safest bet you can get to an ICO, which is their, I guess it'd be IEO, initial exchange offering. So BNB is going to be another one I'm going to be looking at very closely. Let's take a look at BNB. So current price is $21.19. Once again, you can take out these brief candles to the downside, or these, not candles, but these wicks. But BNB actually looks really nice here on the daily. A lot of these altcoins look, just amazing here on the daily. If Bitcoin could just get its act together and stop being so volatile and bipolar, these altcoins could really run up. And BNB is definitely one of those on my list. You can see how red you are here. You're showing a lower level. You actually have a trigger wave here. If we go down to our 4-hour, let's clean this up a little bit. You can see we tried building something off of this. If I move this, you can see that we have our trigger, or you actually have your snake eyes, and then you had another buy signal. But unfortunately, your momentum, Bitcoin pretty much just choked it out. Basically just ran out of gas. And you can see here with the new market cipher update, you did pop a red dot here. So maybe maybe BNB goes back down to, where did our official bottom? About $20. But BNB is definitely going to be on my list. But just know though, if we do break $20, I will be eyeing the 618, which is your golden retrace, which is going to be at about $17.85. See what the Liberator shows here. Damn. I mean, you can't really short BNB, but you threw a nice short signal here at $27.50. You called the run up to the top and you called the sell off to the bottom, and then it caught a nice bounce from about $27 to about $32 before you flipped short again at $27.30, you know, to our current price range right now. Can you switch the elevator music? Honestly, I'm really just tired of hearing a techno music. I don't really want to be a DJ. We're just kind of chilling. It doesn't really feel like rave music right now. And honestly, it's really nice listening to something different. It's just chill music. Let's take a look at the stock market here. So we definitely failed here on SPY. We were talking about it. You can see at the top of our resistance box. I know it's really small, but the top of our resistance box was pretty much just under $303. We were so close to all-time highs, and we just couldn't do it. You know, we actually have failed. We've broke through our first, so this box can actually be turned red. What is our current price? $2.99. Let's check this on the 4-hour. I don't want to flip this box short yet. But once again, you can tell we have a solid box here for support, because we had a nice bounce right off the top of our box, which is just at about $2.98. You had a brief wick under it, but then we went immediately back above it, and we actually bounced right off of our box here on the second touch point. Right here, this candle. So if you break $2.98, the next area I'm going to be watching is about it's really going to be that $2.96.50, $2.97 area. But you have much more major support down here at $2.94 and about $2.92.5. But you have to realize, guys, while everyone's just only in cryptocurrency, you know, and they think that's all that, you know, there is that exists, look at this bull market. You know, this is really why I'm trying to broaden your horizons. Look at this from 2009. I mean, there's been minor dips, but each time it's just a little bump in the road before you start continuing higher. You can see actually from 2009 we're up roughly about 350%. And you have to realize with options, I mean, granted, I don't think you can buy options this far out, but the stock market's been on a tear. So we're going to start some stock education and trading options. I'm still figuring out how I want to go about the stock stuff. Like I said, it's been one of the most requested things for our nights, but like I said, there is a huge drop off on viewers the moment I start talking about stocks. Like pretty much about 40% of everyone will leave. So I'm trying to find the sweet spot, because you know I am here to serve you guys. But I've noticed the King's Knights, they definitely are very interested in it. So we're going to figure out how we're going to go about doing this. But, you know, I have to give you guys content that you want. So let's see how my Colt stock is doing. You want to find the closest stock to cryptocurrency? Tesla is definitely your one. They have like a cult-like following, which I kind of like. It's really funny, but you have pretty major resistance here at 250. You can see how we've came back and rejected it. If you look at Tesla here, if we look at it from the 4-hour standpoint, let's actually go to the daily. The daily at the 382, which is at $250 roughly. You can see we're rejecting it, and it's going to be quite strong. You can see this line, it's bothering me, but you can see right here, it's not very perfect up here. Let's make sure our touch points are online. That might have something to actually do with it. Let's make sure we're lined up. I haven't looked at this one in a minute on TradingView. There we go. So, but you can see the touch points basically here on the dips. So there's going to be quite a bit of resistance here at about $250. The Elon Musk stock. Isn't he like the CEO now? I know it's just a joke, but isn't he like the CEO of Dogecoin? Is it about the views or likes? No, it's about what you guys want. But you have to realize, you know, I can have a group of 50 people watching, and then the moment I start talking about stocks, it goes down into the 20s. So just because a few people want it, that's why I'm offering is like a thing on for the nights. Because obviously, if you look at what the community wants, they don't want to hear about stocks. So no, it's not about me wanting likes. It's about I'm here for you guys. If you guys don't want to hear about stocks, we're not going to talk about them. We're going to have to find a special way to fit it in somehow. But no, it's definitely not about me trying to get likes. You're watching it work? Well, thank you, In It to Win It. So we'll get back on Bitcoin. So, you know, nothing's really happening. You know, like I said earlier today, we're probably just going to hover between 10,050 and probably 10,180, 10,200. It's probably going to be a pretty slow day for Bitcoin. Martin, no one else really seems to be complaining about the music. I'm sorry if you don't like it. I'm here to do technical analysis. I'm not a DJ. It's really hard to stay concentrated when I have to sit here and change the music every 5 seconds. We're just chilling and hanging out. I just don't really want to listen to rave techno music like we're dropping Molly and partying. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So current price is 10,150. See if Ethereum's done anything. We're like at 216 earlier. Yep, still at 216. So it's just a pretty slow day. Well, you have to realize though something, Martin. It's really hard from my standpoint trying to find music because we have people from all different cultures, all different parts of the world. I can't play designated music. Like I can't play country music. I can't play rock music. I can't play rap music. I have to find neutral music to play because I'm going to be scaring a giant portion of the people away. If you like rap music but I'm playing country music, you're probably not going to want to listen to the stream. Just like vice versa. So we're just trying to listen to neutral music. You know, it's a technical analysis channel. It's not really about learning new music to listen to on your time off. It's impossible for me to stay concentrated trying to do technical analysis and having to flip a new song every 5 seconds. How many weeks or months out do you usually buy options? You can buy... you can play, I mean, you can buy like quarterly options or monthly options, but generally I buy options that expire within a week or two. Generally, if I buy options, I'm in and out. Like if I buy today, I'm probably selling by tonight before the market closes. I basically just scalp trade options because you have to realize options are very volatile. So if I buy tonight and my options are at $1 and I'm betting and I'm buying calls at $1, and then let's say Trump has a tweet that comes out and the market tanks, I could be down 40% tomorrow morning, even though I was up today. So generally, if you're going to buy options and you're trying to speculate on future price movement, I would recommend buying them. But you have to realize the farther down you buy them, like a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, they're going to be more expensive. So if I bought a 250 call and the price is 248, and I bought them that expired this week, they're going to be probably 50 cents, $1. But you have to buy 100 of them. So that would, if they're $1 and you have to buy 100 of them, it's going to be $100. But if you buy quarterly calls at that same price of 250, like 250 calls, they could be $9, $8, $10. And you still have to buy 100 of them. So you're looking at, so the farther out your call is, the more money it's going to be. So it's just about your preference. If you want to speculate on future price movement, I recommend probably buying the monthlies or the quarterlies. But for me, I just scalp trade them. So, if it's Monday, I might buy options that expire this Friday, or I'll buy one maybe that expires the following Friday, so 2 weeks away. But you have to realize options are very, very volatile. So I usually, if I buy in, I'm selling that same day. I'm not holding it. But you can do things to like minimize your risk on options. So like if you want to limit your losses, you can buy like 2 contracts, like so calls are basically going long and puts are basically betting that you're going down. It's like a short. So you can do things to minimize your risk by like you can buy like 2 calls long. So like if your current price was $248, you could buy calls at $258, and then you could buy like 246 puts, and you could buy 1, so you're long 2 and you're short 1. It's gonna hurt your gains if you go up, but there's ways with options that you can hedge your risk. Yeah, Mike, yeah. Tweets can just absolutely it's just why I generally I don't hold. I'll buy my options today or in the morning. And that's another thing, guys. The stock market the first 2 hours is considered rookie mode. So the stock market at my house opens at 8:30 in the morning. I generally don't make my first purchase until at least 10:30. A lot of your amateur investors will buy in the first hour the stock market's open, and that's why a lot of times you'll see a giant open and then it basically sells off once the institutions, basically once the hype dies down. Let's see here. Just checking something out real quick. I'm ready for this Chiefs game on Sunday. So I swear, like, Facebook has gotten so scammy. I've noticed I keep getting these like really sketchy people. They look like they're like porn stars and they have like 5 friends. I don't know how I keep attracting these people on Facebook, but they're like half naked and they have like 5 friends. And even if you were to accept it, they're usually deleted within like 3 days. It's so weird. But I'm just getting tons of them on Facebook. I think I've had at least 20 to 30 friends requests on Facebook the last week, and they have like 3 to 5 friends total. It's so weird. I don't even really use Facebook anymore, but I keep getting their updates. I'm usually only on Twitter. Yeah. You bought silver calls out of the money and it turned out to be real good? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Especially with like precious metals. That would be one that's like pretty... Oh man, especially if you bought silver. If you bought silver within the last 2 years, you're probably sitting pretty well. Silver's been on fire this year. And man, you want to talk about technical analysis? Look at this, guys. So we went from our swing low to our top. And look at that. You had a wick right off of your 382 at $17.45. Your 382. We zoom in here, you can see it perfectly bounced right off of it. But just since June, you have to realize with options, your gains would be astronomically higher. But since June this year, silver's up roughly about 38%. If you go basically from September of last year, silver's up about 42%. So yeah, if you bought anything over $15 like calls, especially if you're even more risky and you bought like the $20 calls, oh man, I bet your gains are in the you could probably be in the thousands. Multi-1,000%. Wow. Mouse is going rogue. But no, the precious metal market has just been doing amazing. Like if you look at silver and then you go to gold here. I mean, if we do a gold price range, if you go from September of last year, gold is up roughly about 33%. Once again, if you bought options, honestly, if you even bought the $1,300 options, the calls, when we were down here and at like $1,200, once again, I bet your percentage gains are in the multi-thousands. Easy. You bought 19? Damn. How you doing, Jesper? Yeah, if you bought $19 calls when silver was 13, I bet you're doing insanely well. So congratulations. But no, silver and gold has just been extremely hot here. Are we back? Okay, so gold's back above $1,500. I saw there was news like the Fed pumped in like $75 billion into the market. They're basically just keeping the stock market alive, but it just makes you wonder, like, you know, when is the Fed ever going to take profit? They've just been pumping so much money into the stock market lately. And here on gold, you're actually sitting here at your short-term resistance here at about 1,512. But no, gold earlier this year, gold hit almost. Okay, we didn't hit 1,600, but we hit a high of about 1,000. 560 roughly. But no, even if we zoom out here and we use the weekly chart, damn. So gold in the 90s was only in the 200s. Just insane gains. If you bought gold in like 2000, so what? We actually hit a high of $1,920. You know what? I'm going to try to fib this out. I want to see from like the entire, since gold has been traded, I want to see if we can actually fib retrace this. Well, you can see we have nice touch points here off our 382. And we're kind of struggling here at our, I guess it would be our 236. And you can see the touch points off the 236 beautifully. I'm telling you, fib retracements are an awesome tool to learn. I'll never forget, like, when I first started streaming on Twitch, there was some dude, it was called, like, something Candy or something on Twitch. And it was crazy because he had all of these followers. It was amazing. And I was just joking around with him. I was like, so what do you think about the fib retracement? He's like, oh, the fib retracement is bogus. It only helps you find areas of value to lose more money. And I was like, oh my God. I feel like some of these people have never traded before. Like, they literally, like, they trade crypto and they're like, oh, no one can trade better than me. And it's like, are you serious? The fib retracement is literally one of my favorite tools. He even said the MACD was bogus. I was like, and he kept saying like, oh, I have this algorithm. It's the science of trading. And I was like, dude, the science of trading, is that even real? I mean, there's probably more math into trading than there is science. I think he was just trying to sell his package, but he was literally trying to say like all basically all the traditional technical analysis is basically, it was bogus. Sometimes I like going onto crypto Twitch and laughing at people. It's so funny. Not at them. I mean, obviously I don't make comments or anything, but no, it was so funny when he said that Fibonacci only helps you find lower levels, or better levels to lose money. I was like, dude, are you serious? I don't think you've ever traded before you discovered crypto. Reese, you alright? See if we can find something. Wonder if this person has any other... See if they have like any other music. Jazz hop. Yeah, I love the Fibonacci retracement. We'll try this one out for a little bit. I won't lie though, this chill music, it's kind of making me tired. I feel like I could take a nap. So Bitcoin's literally just stuck at the same point. So interesting. The Bitcoin Euro XBT provider. Alright, so we'll take a look at Bitcoin. And like I said, if there's any other currencies or anything you would like to look at, just let me know. But you know, honestly, there's just not a lot happening. But I wanted to make sure we got a stream out. Where we could take a look at your questions and look at your currencies. What do you know about Hemi Sync music? I've never heard of it. F. Sani, I have never heard of it. So on Bitstamp though, we technically haven't, remember that short, the short indicator that we saw flip? On Bitstamp, we haven't even, that actually hasn't even gone, or it hasn't flipped short yet. Technically, we still did not close under 10,080. I really like using Bitstamp. It seems to be more resistant to basically, what's the word, premature calls, I guess. Bitstamp has the most data by far, but I don't know. There's just a ton of data. The more information you have, the better your technical analysis is going to be. But I've just noticed, especially with the Market Liberator, the AgroCap, even the Market Cipher, Bitstamp by far seems to be the best exchange. Half-baked butternut? Like what, did you just show up? I was like, because honestly, Bitcoin ain't really doing much. I figured we'd do a quick wrap-up of your guys' just to make sure to get all your questions or your last-minute currencies. We've been live for almost about 2 hours now. Bitcoin just really isn't doing anything. And I got to do like 3 loads of laundry today. So I'm studying for my real estate exam right now. GBP Euro. Yeah, I mean, I can look at them, but I'll just let you know I'm not a Forex trader. GBP. That is something I've never done. So I think we were actually talking about this with another member. So obviously it's plotted. I would have never done this myself. Alright, so you seem to be finding this bottom about 106. Like I said, I'm not a Forex trader, so I don't know what the conversion of this. I know it's not dollars. So I'm just going to literally just say 106 or a... You know, like I said, I'm just really not a Forex trader. But actually, I remember looking at this with a member. Because it's been requested before. You seem to be having a lot of buying pressure here, especially recently. And honestly, it's looking like here, you actually have more room to maybe run up to the upside. Wow, that's not what I wanted. So you're showing a lower level of selling pressure. on the 1 hour. If we go over here to our 15-minute, it looks like you're starting to build a little bit of negative momentum, but this is just the 15-minute, so I wouldn't put too much into that. But if you look at your 4 hour, you're basically sustaining your buying pressure. If you look here at your daily, you did pop a green buy dot here. So you're actually coming up to resistance now about 114, 115. But really, you can see the touch points here across. I'm really going to be eyeing the 115 range. If you break above 115, you can see all the touch points here across. But I am going to be eyeing... Man, how far do I have this fib back? I will be eyeing the 786 here, which is sitting... Oh, I'm sorry, not the 786, the 618. And your 618 is roughly at about 118. So if you're, from a bullish standpoint, your first resistance is at 115 with your first area of resistance here at your 618 at roughly about 118. If you're trying to find support on this, man, that is pretty far down there. You are showing some support here at about 110. This is basically where your 786 is right here. So you are finding some support here at your 786. But if you do break that 110 mark, I really would be trying to... Yeah, I still kind of count that as 110. I would maybe start eyeing the 106, the 108 area. There's just not a lot of touch points with this. This seems to have the most consistent touch points, which is at about 106. So 110 breaks, it's really that 106, 108 area. Forex is just something I've never really traded. So I would imagine it's similar, from a, like our normal trading strategy. So the Great British Pound. We got bogged down by a friend wanting to chill. ShopRite. SHP. Yeah, let's take a look. The market is closed. It's supposed to be a foreign currency or a foreign stock. I'm just looking at this from a weekly level. Just give me just a second, guys. I want to see if I can fib this at all. So, you want to talk about fibs? I'm telling you guys, technical analysis works way better like in your stocks. Where are we at right now? We're at the 618. This is your golden retrace. This is your prime areas of value where you have generally your most powerful moves up to the upside. Beautiful bounce right off of it. I don't know much about the JSE currency. But whatever your conversion rate of roughly about 10,931, you had a nice bounce off of it. If you're looking for resistance, you're actually sitting pretty much right at it right now. So I'm just looking for consistent touch points. Just give me 1 second, guys. So I'm really going to be looking for the 13,300 area. You'll even have a little bit here at about 13. So about 13,000, 13,300. But once again, you can see all the touch points here. If we zoom out and we go to our weekly, you can see here you have your 618s where we had a really nice bounce, but you do have your 0.5, your Fibonacci retracement line, and you can see all the touch points basically on it. So I can tell you with about 100% certainty, the 14,350, the 14,400 mark is going to be insanely difficult to break. So if you do buy anywhere down here, I would definitely be a seller here at your 0.5, which is right here. This line that goes across here. This is going to be massive resistance. But you're coming up to your next area of resistance here. Once again, it's really that 13,000, 13,300. With your much more major resistance at about, like I said, it's 14,350, 14,400. If you're trying to find areas of support, once again, I would be looking at your 618, which is at about 11,000. About 11,050, you can see your 618 right here. So it's about 11,100, 11,000, right in through here. But man, what a touch point. That is literally beautiful. Your 618 is literally, it is your golden retrace. If you haven't watched our fib video, so your 382 to your 618 is basically your golden, sorry, it doesn't look like a great G. This is your golden zone. And this, your 618, is your golden retrace. This is where, generally in the stock market, you have your greatest bounces off your 618. You can have massive bounces off the 618. So, this is really what I'd be watching for on that. Hey, no problem. I hope that helped out. Like I said, I really do apologize, especially with the Forex one. It's just something I've never traded before. I've had a lot of friends. I won't lie, guys. I've been a little scared to jump into Forex trading. I've had so many buddies lose their life savings trading the Forex market, so I just haven't touched it. If I want some volatility, I'll just do some option. Well, not really options, but I'll do leverage trading with Bitcoin. That's enough risk for me. Man, guys, I'm telling you. Even if you don't invest a single dollar, go to TD Ameritrade and download the Thinkorswim app. I'm serious. They have a paper trading account. They'll give you like a couple $100,000 to spend and learn. Even if you don't want to start a paper trading account, start using and practicing your technical analysis, like your Fibonacci retracement, your MACD, and start comparing it to stocks. I'm telling you, like, technical analysis, they were literally built for the stock market, so why not use it? Technical analysis does work for cryptocurrency, but I'm telling you, it works a lot better with the stock market. And honestly, I think stocks are a little bit more easy to trade with technical analysis. Broaden your horizons. Even if you don't want to invest a single dollar into options or stocks, at least learn technical analysis on your practicing. I'm telling you, I promise, you won't regret it. But I highly do recommend, because it's kind of fun to watch the results. Instead of just setting stuff here and like, oh, it hits my lines, I would think about starting a paper trading account. It's not real money, it's fake, but use your technical analysis skills, build your confidence in your own skill level. Start making some trades. It doesn't matter if you're wrong, because you're just learning, and it's paper money. I know money's paper, but it's paper trading. You're not actually losing real money. But broaden your horizons. I promise you won't regret it. Yeah. Yep, don't get emotionally attached. Yep. Sometimes, especially like on those losing positions, guys, if you start seeing you're on the wrong end of the trade, like let's say you're short, all right, like I was yesterday, I had a small position short, and you start seeing all these buy signals, like bullish signals, sometimes the best thing to do is to just bite the bullet and take the loss. Recoup, dust yourself off, learn what you did wrong, and prepare for the next trade. There's no sense of just holding a massively, I mean, granted, you don't really, I mean, if you're already massively in the hole and you start seeing like, hey, the momentum, like let's say you're short and you're down, let's say you're down $300 worth of gain. So let's say you shorted at 10,000 and we're sitting at 10.4 like last night or yesterday. And then once we get to 10.4, you start seeing a lot of weakness, then yeah, take profit. But if you're scalp trading, specifically scalp trading, and you start seeing that you're on the wrong end of the trade and you're not massively down a lot of money, the best thing to do is just to cut that thing loose. The best traders don't hold losing positions. Take the small loss, dust yourself off, learn what you did wrong, and start over and prepare for the next trade. I'm telling you, sometimes the psychological aspect of trading is way more important. But I really want to emphasize, if you lose money on a trade, don't bump your leverage higher trying to make more money. Like basically trying to make money on that trade and then make up your losses on your second trade. I'm telling you, I've seen people do it and they get wrecked 3 times as hard. I was about to say, I don't think it's going to freeze up. We'll take a look at it. See if this opens up. If this locks out, we were going to kind of close out anyway. So I'm not I'm not exit scamming the stream if it cuts out, guys. Sometimes our internet's been acting a little funky here. That's why I've been kind of holding our internet or our streams off past 7, because I don't know why, but every single night at 7 o'clock, the internet cuts out. Like seriously, like our TV doesn't work, the internet, it's like every night at the same exact time. This is the Thinkorswim app. Let's see if it's gonna load here. Alright, she's trying. Thinkorswim app has a ton of data on it, so it generally takes a minute to load. So I don't think this is going to overload the CPU, guys, but once again, if this does cut out, I'm not exit scamming. I mean, we're kind of winding down the stream anyway. I just wanted to show you guys what this looks like. This is my second account we're going to load into. I have a practice account that I do with like paper trading or stuff like that we'll look at. This might take a minute. Yesterday, this darn thing said, I don't understand how there's any updates because I just put this on. I actually downloaded the app rather than just using it through TD Ameritrade yesterday. Okay. Go to the paper. See if we can get this to load up. Bitcoin's just doing a whole bunch of nothing right now. So I figured I'd show you guys around the TD Ameritrade exchange, and I figured we'll call it a stream. So have any of you guys ever like paper traded before? Yeah, half-baked butternut. Yeah, I'm literally unbiased. I mean, half the time I can't even pronounce the other currencies, but secondly, I like I said, I'm just not a Forex trader, so I'm simply just looking at it from a charting perspective. I have no biasness on any direction. I've seen so many people get wrecked trading Forex, especially like close friends. I mean, seriously, I've had a few friends that have literally just, I mean, lost their life savings trading Forex. So I've kind of just haven't really touched it, to be honest. Sure, taking its sweet time to load this user agreement. But they actually have, so TD Ameritrade, they actually have their own, it's like their own CNBC business. I love it. So like, even if you just want to get some, you know, you just want to learn. So like here, let's turn this off here. Let's get rid of this music here for a second. Yeah, the computer's probably going to be running like crap. We may not even get to look at it. Yeah, I had a feeling this might happen. Worst case, like I said, I'm gonna do a static video. I know my knights, the King's Knights, they've really been asking for some options material, so see if this helps. But basically though, there's this Trader TV over here. You can click it and it's like basically the CNBC business version of TD Ameritrade, like what they offer. Make sure we're doing good. But yeah, I kind of figured the TD Ameritrade, it's a pretty large app. It's going to lock my computer up. All right, did it just do it? All right. So, I think that's going to do it for today or for this morning stream. I've kind of figured this TD Ameritrade was going to lock my whole computer. So, but we're going to start looking at some, options and stock material. The Kings Knights have been asking for it, but for, quite a while now. This thing's still not going to close. All right. Well, we're not going to have our traditional ending, it looks like. Even my task manager's not even responding. So strange. So, once again, guys, I apologize. We're not really going to have our stream ending screen. I don't think it's going to actually allow me to even click out of this. Like, even my task manager is froze. That's when you know it's effed up. So, it looks like I'm just going to have to turn the computer off manually. So, usually we have a stream ending screen. But, between everyone, between, YouTube and Twitch, thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. So, I hope you learned something or, I entertained you in some way. But, yeah, I'm probably just going to have to manually turn this computer off. So, once again, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't joined our Discord, if you're on YouTube, the link will be in the description. Or if you're on Twitch, it'll be on the panels below. But yeah, my whole computer's pretty much locked up now. I'm not even sure if you can hear this. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you on Discord, and have a great weekend. Do what makes you happy. We'll probably do a night stream here tonight. We'll see how the price action moves. I don't know. I might go to the bar or something tonight. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. But spend time with your friends and family. I mean, hopefully Bitcoin allows us to have some free time this weekend. I don't think we're gonna be let off that easy. But it's the weekend, guys. Spend it with your friends, family, your pets, your animals, whatever makes you happy. Um, you know, Crypto's here's 24/7, but actually living life, time can't be made back up. Um, so, but once again, guys, thank you for watching. I'm just gonna have to exit off this thing manually. But I will see you on the Discord.